So, in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, someone mentioned that they feel like they're in a bad mood all the time and they wanted to know how to stop feeling that way. And I've noticed this more and more, that more people have been expressing that they're unhappy with life or upset or in a bad mood, including myself. So I want to talk about this and the things that I'm doing to not feel miserable or in a bad mood anymore. Like, I don't know about you, but sometimes for me, it feels as though the miserableness, the unhappiness, the bad moodness, like it's like it just sticks on me. Even if I don't want to be miserable, like it just sticks on my chest and it won't let go for like a long time. And I don't want to feel this way anymore. And if you're watching this video, you probably don't either. So today I want to talk about the 4 things that I'm doing to stop feeling this way. And I'm hoping that these tips will help you as well. But before I get to that, I quickly want to mention what this channel is about. So on this channel, my goal is to help people or encourage people to live the life that they want. Live a life on their terms, like how I live mine, which can be like a wide range of things. But obviously today it's about wanting to be happier or not wanting to be in a bad mood. Okay, so on to the first thing. So the first thing that I noticed that has helped me and has been helping me was doing a daily focused journaling practice. So there's free writing journaling, which is where you write out everything that comes to mind. And then there's what I'm calling focused journaling, where you use specific prompts to journal or you answer specific questions in your journal. And when I did focused journaling, and when I do focus journaling, it really helps to bring me into a better headspace. Now, I do this first thing in the morning and then right before I go to bed. You don't have to do it this way, but this is just how I do it, how I've been doing it, and this is what's been working for me. So the first thing that I do in my journal is to practice gratitude in the morning, like right as I wake up. And then I'll use a few different prompts for this. So the first prompt I might use is, what am I grateful for? And then I just list everything off the top of my head. Now, if I felt that I really wanted to dig into it, or that I had the time to do so, or if I felt that the things I was grateful for were getting a bit too repetitive, I might change the prompt to something like, if I was only allowed to keep things in my life that I was grateful for, what would I be grateful for? And rewording it in that way really helped me to think about all of the things I had in my life that were good, and that I enjoyed, or that were even just convenient. And then writing out all those things helped me focus on the good things in my life and then put me into a better headspace. And if I wasn't feeling my best, or if I'm not feeling my best, or if I'm feeling low energy, I might use a prompt like, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? Or what 3 things are going well in my life? Even just listing 3 things that I'm grateful for or that are going well for me really helps to put me in a better headspace. And usually, by the time I could list 3, I could usually list at least a few more. And I love doing this practice in the morning right as I wake up, because it helps me feel positive going into my day. Now, for my nighttime practice, there are 4 prompts that I really enjoy using and help me to foster a more positive headspace before going to bed. So the first prompt is, what did I accomplish today? So when I use this prompt, I write out everything that I did that I felt was an accomplishment. It could have been something as simple as, brushing my teeth or showering or having a bowel movement, to something, like staying alive, to something else that's like a very specific project that I completed. Anything that I felt was an accomplishment, I'm writing it down. And usually I would find that, I accomplished more than I thought I had, because once I write down one thing, I start remembering other things that I did, and then I add it to the list. And looking at that list really helps me to feel, good about myself. So the next question that I answer is, what made me feel happy today? Now, I really like this question because writing out the things that make me feel happy, it brings back up those feelings of happiness from that moment, right? And I think that's a really good feeling to go to bed with. And again, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Sometimes it could be as simple as, I drank some tea or I drank some hot chocolate today. Speaking of tea or hot chocolate, if you do want to support my tea or hot chocolate habit, because I don't drink coffee, I drink tea or hot chocolate. If you want to support me in that way, I'll leave a link in the description for that. Now, the third prompt that I use is, what ideas did I have today? So I'm a person who needs to write things down in order to remember them better. And I enjoyed this question because usually I have a lot of ideas that I don't want to forget. And when I write down my ideas here, sometimes I'm able to expand on them a bit. But I do feel like this question helps to solidify ideas, at least in my subconscious mind, and then they come back out later. And I feel like it also reinforces to me something that I believe about myself, which is that I'm creative or that I'm full of ideas. So then when I am writing out all the ideas I had, it reinforces that to me. Now, the last question that I have in my nighttime journal is, how was I shown love today? So sometimes I feel like a real negative Nancy. As I mentioned, sometimes it feels like the negativity, it just won't let go. Like I want to let go of it, but it won't let go of me. And this also means that I understand that the tracks in my brain, they skew towards the negative. So I'm not sure if you've heard of this from, the researchers or professionals who work with understanding the brain, but your brain is kind of like a train. And when you think about something, your brain, the train, moves in that direction and makes tracks in that direction so that it's easier to get to that direction again in the future. So, because I have thought so many negative things in my life growing up, my brain seems to skew towards the negative. There are very defined tracks going in that direction. But this also means that sometimes it feels really easy for me to forget the nice things that people do for me because, again, my brain is prone to thinking about the negative. So I added this question to my journal practice because I feel like I really have to work on reminding myself of the positive things in my life, including how I was shown love. And again, this can be more broad if you decide to use this question, right? It could be something as simple as someone holding a door open for me, or a friend listening to me, or, it could be a more traditional form of love, like getting hugs and kisses from a loved one. But reminding myself of all these things before I go to bed, it resurfaces those emotions of love and happiness that help me to feel good. And that is definitely how I want to feel before I go to sleep. And again, it is also helping my brain to build tracks in a more positive direction. Now, the last thing I'll do here in this journal is free write. So I do have a space to write anything else on my mind so that my brain is empty or mostly empty before I go to bed. But that's what I do for journaling. So if journaling is something that you would like to practice, or you would like to practice it in the way that I'm doing it, I'm going to link my journal in the description of this video so that you can try it out for yourself. Now, moving on from journaling, because that was quite a bit, the second thing that helps me to get in a more positive headspace or helps me to let go of a bad mood or release negative energy is to move my body. So some people like to go for a walk or for a run. For me, I prefer to do yoga. So the other day, I was feeling very miserable about something. I don't remember if I did my journal practice that morning, but I woke up earlier than usual, like hella early. I couldn't get back to sleep. I walked out of my room and I felt upset at like a few different things. And I didn't want to be upset, right? Especially so early in the morning. Like I just woke up and then I was just upset. And I was trying to let it go, but it's like my body couldn't. Like it literally couldn't. Like I could feel in my body that, I was upset or annoyed, and those feelings, they just wouldn't leave. So I decided that, since I was up earlier than normal anyway, like I might as well make use of the time and do some yoga. And it was good. So the point of the yoga was not initially to feel better. It was just to move my body, to get some exercise in. But doing the yoga actually helped in terms of removing that negative feeling from me. And I was very surprised by that. Like doing the yoga, like it hurt. I was sweating. I hate sweating, especially out here when it's so hot all the time. But by the end of the session, whatever negativity I was feeling, it's like it let go of me. Like I could remember why I felt miserable and why I felt annoyed, but those feelings were no longer stuck on me. Like it's as though me moving my body, like even just holding those poses and breathing through them, it just allowed my body to release whatever negativity that was. So I plan to continue doing yoga regularly, because I find that it helps. It's not just physical help, but also with the bad moodness, and with the negativity. But I would also encourage you that if you are feeling negativity, especially if you want to let go of it, but you feel like it's not letting go of you, I would recommend doing something like walking, yoga, even stretching, I think could help. But I would recommend doing some sort of physical activity. Just to give some recommendations in case you're interested in doing yoga. So sometimes I do like the P90X yoga, because I used to work out a lot and I still have my P90X. That's like an hour and a half long of yoga. You don't have to do that though. On YouTube, there are some channels. They offer a lot of yoga sessions for free. So there's Yoga with Cassandra, there's Charlie Follows, and Yo Flaminga, Yoga with Jenny Hertz. You can try those out and see if you like them. All right, so the third thing that I've been doing to stop being miserable or to not be in a bad mood anymore is to copy someone else. And I'll explain. So, those people who can just go with the flow, who seem to like let nothing really bother them. People who say things like they'll cross that bridge when they get there, so like they're not gonna worry about something now. I'm sure you know at least one person in your life who is like that. Like you see things that should bother them and they're more or less like, yeah, whatever. Those people, those are the people that I'm talking about when I say to copy someone else. Those exact people who seem not to be bothered by anything are the perfect people to copy. So in my case, I'll give an example. My husband is like that, right? There are so many times that I think to myself, like, my guy, why are you not bothered by this? Like, how does this not bother you? Like, how does this not put you in a bad mood? And then it bothers me that he is not bothered by something that I think should be bothering him, which is really funny. But then after thinking about it, actually, I was journaling about it and I thought, wait, hold on. This is a learning opportunity. Like, yes, maybe I don't think he always has the best gauge or the best meter about when to be bothered. But at the same time, do I actually need to be bothered by that specific thing? Like, what if I were to copy him instead? Like, he's so chill. He's really chill, annoyingly chill. But what if I were to copy him instead? Like, what if when I see something that would normally bother me, I look at how he's reacting and then copy that reaction. So I know that this isn't feasible all the time, but I think it can help. And I am, as I mentioned, I'm testing this myself. I understand there are always things that are going to bother me more than it's going to bother him, or there are going to be things that I feel like he should genuinely be more bothered about. But at the same time, there are less things that I could be bothered by. And me being less bothered will lead to me being in a better mood, being more positive, and will significantly reduce my daily stress level. And also, I feel like copying him can help because, what if I'm wrong, right? I think, as I mentioned, I think there are more things he could be bothered by. But is it really like that? What if I'm wrong and I'm just taking things too seriously all the time? What if my stress level meter or my bother level meter or my bother level gauge, how bothered I am, the gauge for how bothered I am, what if my gauge is out of whack and I actually need to learn how to tone it down? Because the thing is, I know I feel that I'm in a bad mood a lot. And I know that he's mentioned that as well to me. And I know that me being bothered by various things is definitely contributing to me feeling like I'm in a bad mood. So I feel like copying him can help bring me back to a place where I'm more balanced. Now again, am I going to copy everything? No. But I think this practice will really help to, at minimum, reduce my stress level. And then it'll also help me to let go of things easier, gain a new perspective, and not take things so seriously, which again will help me to be in a better mood every day. So this is what I'm gonna suggest to you as well. I'm trying it out. I'm kind of actually just starting this and I'm seeing how it's going, but I don't think it's a bad thing, at least to try. Copying people is not always bad, and I think it may be worth trying. Now, the last thing that has helped me, or has been helping me to release negativity or stop being miserable or get myself into a more positive headspace, is remembering my mortality, that someday I'm gonna die, right? I'm gonna die, my friends and loved ones are gonna die, the people I despise are gonna die, the situations I like or don't like are gonna die, everything and everyone is gonna die someday, right? And initially that sounds depressing, but the point is not to be depressing. It's just, if I'm gonna die one day, right? Then I might as well make the most of the life I'm living right now. I might as well work on experiencing as much joy as I can right now, because eventually, none of us are going to be here. And for me, I hope that whenever that day comes and I'm reflecting on my life, I can say to myself that I enjoyed it, and I did the things that made me happy, and I spent time with the people that made me happy. I get one life. And when I frame things in that way, it's things are not that serious. I might as well enjoy this life that I got. So when I'm feeling negative or low vibrational or miserable with life, or just in a continuous bad mood, this is how I tackle it and how I've been tackling it, right? I do my journal practice, I move my body, I copy carefree people, and I try not to take life too serious because it is short. So I hope that this helps you. I'd love to know if it did. So comment below and let me know which tip you thought was the most helpful. I'd also love to know if there's anything that you do when you are in a bad mood that helps you to get out of that space. And, I'd love to see what else I could try out or add to my arsenal. And if you did get something from this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so you don't miss any of my other videos. Because if you like this one, you're probably gonna like the other ones. And again, if you feel like supporting me, as I mentioned, I love to drink tea and hot chocolate. And you can support my tea habit by buying me a tea at the link in the description. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.